Coming up on the news tonight, Ogun State government extends current ease restrictions by 2 weeks. Top government officials test positive for COVID-19 in Benue State. Bomb attack kills 5, injures 10 people in Somalia. French prosecutors ask ex-national team star Karim Benzema to face trial for attempted blackmail. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Hello everyone, we're glad to have you join us on our major news for today. I am Idowu Fabajo. The Ogun State government has extended its current phase of eased restrictions for another 2 weeks as it continues to review and modify the guidelines in response to data from the field and expert opinions on the spread of COVID-19 in the state. While noting the recent lifting of the ban on interstate travels by the federal government, the state will monitor this development to determine its impact on the COVID-19 situation and will not hesitate to make appropriate adjustment in consultation with the federal government. These are contained in a release issued by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of the state, Kunle Shomori. The release adds that schools are to remain shut, while a committee has been set up to engage all stakeholders, public and private school owners, to develop guidelines for a safe reopening of our schools, especially to allow certificate classes resume and write their examinations. The government, however, reiterates that the usual restrictions will remain in place, stating especially that all 5 working days in the week, Monday to Friday, are still open for businesses and other economic transactions, with only Saturday and Sunday as lockdown days. It assured that the state government will continue to be deliberate, cautious, focused and balanced in its approach and place highest priority on public safety over and above any other consideration in its efforts to flatten the curve of the dreaded COVID-19 virus in the state. Osun State Governor Adegboyega Oyetola has ordered the total lockdown of 4 local government areas of the state to curtail community spread of COVID-19 movement in the affected local government areas would be restricted for 7 days. In the first instance, the LGs are Ilesha East, Ilesha West, Atakumosa East and Atakumosa West. A statement by the State Commissioner for Information and Civic Orientation, Mrs. Funke Egbemode, explained that the decision to lock down the 4 councils was sequel to the meeting between the government and the stakeholders from the area. Egbemode said the lockdown would commence on Tuesday, July 7, and it would be for 1 week in the first instance, adding that if the compliance level was not encouraging, the government would announce further extension. She further explained that the state was closely monitoring other local government areas with rising numbers of those testing positive for COVID-19 in the state and may, in the days ahead, lock down more areas. She added that the decision to impose a total lockdown on the 4 local government areas was aimed at containing the spread of the virus. The commissioner stressed that the lockdown would be total as residents and citizens in the affected local government areas would not have opportunity to go to worship centers and markets during the period. Nigeria has recorded 454 new COVID-19 cases, bringing the total infections in the country to 27,564. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, disclosed this in a tweet on Friday. According to the NCDC, the new cases were spread across 18 states and the FCT. 87 of the cases were recorded in Lagos, Edo 63, FCT 60, Ondo 41, Benue 32, Abia 31, Ogun 29, Oyo 19, Kaduna 17, Delta 16, Enugu 15, Borno 14, Plateau 9, Nasarawa 8, Kano 5, Bauchi 4, Gombe 2, Katsina and Kogi 1. The agency also stated that 11,069 persons have been discharged, while 628 persons have died. Still on the pandemic, the Ebonyi State Governor Idowu Fabajo has tested positive for the novel coronavirus. The governor confirmed this in a statement personally signed by him on Saturday. He and some of his close aides tested positive for the virus after carrying out the coronavirus test, the statement said. Umahi further disclosed that presently they are not showing any symptoms but have since isolated, in line with protocols laid down by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. The governor directed the Deputy Governor, Kelechi Igwe, to take over the frontline coordination of the state's fight against the pandemic to protect Ebonyi people. Umahi appealed to the people of Ebonyi State to take the NCDC protocols more seriously, while stating that he is working from home and will conduct all meetings virtually. According to the NCDC, Ebonyi has recorded at least 438 cases of the virus as of Friday evening. Also, about 357 persons have been successfully treated and discharged, while 3 have died. Meanwhile, top government officials in Benue State, including the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Tony Idowu, the Chief of Staff, Atewase Obrumbe, the Head of Service, Veronica Onyeke, and the Vice Chancellor, Benue State University, have all tested positive to the COVID-19. Alarmed by the new development, Governor Samuel Ortom has hinted about the likely reversal of the earlier order to reopen markets across the state, worship centers, and schools, as part of efforts to contain the spread of residents who the governor has asked to take responsibility for their own safety. Already, a team has been deployed to decontaminate the governor's official residence, where his family, domestic staff, and close aides may have had contacts with people and items that can be conveyors of the virus. Meanwhile, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State has said a COVID-19 patient delivered a baby at one of the isolation centers in the state. According to the governor, the woman, who is the second COVID-19 patient in the country to give birth in an isolation center, and her child are both healthy and doing well. He also hinted that the state had recorded 19 new cases of COVID-19, with the total number of COVID-19 cases in the state rise to 1,451. He added that the state also recorded 2 new COVID-19 related deaths. Mother and baby are doing well. Also, the COVID-19 confirmation test for 19 suspected cases came back positive, he said. So good news now, Abia State Governor Okezie Ikpeazu has recovered from COVID-19, a government spokesperson said on Saturday. According to a statement signed by the State Commissioner for Information, Chief John Okiyikalu, Ikpeazu submitted samples on Thursday to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control on Friday. The results of his test came out negative. Governor Ikpeazu is therefore deemed free of the virus according to the extant guidelines of NCDC and the World Health Organization, WHO. The statement said Ikpeazu had been confirmed as COVID-19 positive on June 8 and proceeded into isolation. According to the NCDC, Abia has recorded 382 cases of the novel coronavirus, although only 172 cases are active. 3 persons have died in the state as a result of the virus. Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State has directed Dr. Jibayo Adeyeye, a special advisor on health, to oversee the activities of the Ministry of Health following the death of Dr. Wahab Adegbenru, former Commissioner for Health, Mr. Ojo Oyewamide, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Media and Publicity, made this known in a statement made available to newsmen in Akure. Reports have it that the late Adegbenru, aged 65, died of alleged complications of COVID-19 on Thursday at the Federal Medical Center, Owo. Oyewamide explained that Adeyeye, a 2-term lawmaker at the Lagos State House of Assembly, was a consummate medical practitioner. According to him, the special assistant is a product of the prestigious College of Medicine, University of Lagos. His new roles are with immediate effect, the senior special assistant said. Away from coronavirus pandemic, now the application of modern farming technologies to plant cassava in Ogun State has been demonstrated as part of measures to meet the state's targets on increasing cassava farmers' yields in a full planting season. The State Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Adeola Odedino, stated this stance during an inspection tour to Eweje Farm Institute, Odeda, where the demo exercise is holding. Our reporter, Ife Sholuade, asked details of this report presented from our studios.
Being demonstrated here at the Eweje Farm Institute in Odeda is the usage of modern technology in planting cassava on 8 hectares of land. The method will be adopted by every young and old interested cassava farmer in the state after a week tutorial. The farm institution, which prides itself in infrastructural facilities for training in aquaculture, crop planting and livestock programs, according to the Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Adeola Odedino, is a perfect site to train intending farmers.
The implication is that for everybody that's participating in the state cassava anchor program, their feed must be like this. So you also witness in a short moment how we use technology to establish this farm in the other one we are setting up. You see that this is about 3 or 4 weeks cassava farm and there's no wheat. Yeah. And you can see that, you can see the state and it's well organized. So after planting, beneficiary can just go and sleep using technology. They just come back and harvest. So that's what we are demonstrating.
Dr. Odedino also emphasizes on the essence of Ogun State's partnership with other private agencies in order to fashion out ways to counter any likely food crisis in the state.
We're not actually doing this alone. We are leveraging on the strength of our partners. So many development partners are involved here, especially ITA. The stems that we are using here, they are supplied by ITA. We provided the land. But in no distant time, the youth will be here for their training, and this feed is going to be the learning feed, so that before you absorb into the program, you've seen that it's been done and it's possible.
Program Director, Ogun State Cassava Revolution Program, Mrs. Kehinde Jokotoye, appreciates the State Governor, Prince Dr. Abiodun, for disbursing funds for the program, which would increase the food value chain in the state.
We are hoping that from this little effort, which we've been able to do, since 2014, that was the last time we received any funding for planting cassava, and we are hoping that many people will be able to learn how to grow cassava well. And then another 2,500 hectares is also available for young beneficiaries to go into cassava farming.
With adequate training, thousands of hectares in 17 different locations being cleared, and many supports from the state government, the use of mechanized farming will no doubt improve the output of cassava farmers and tackle food insecurity in the country.
All right, now we'll take a quick break and we will return with more news and reports. Do stay with us.
In loving memory of our dearly beloved former board chairman, Elder Olusegun Alao Olaleye, it is exactly 1 year today we bid farewell to the world. The board, management and staff of Boromu Microfinance Bank remember you today as always. We remember your values of integrity, discipline, etiquette, generosity and dedication to duty. Our love for you will never fade away. We love you, but God loves you more. Continue to rest in the bosom of the Almighty till we meet to part no more. Announcer, the Board of Directors, Management and Staff of Boromu Microfinance Bank.
ShopRite's Big Red Carnival is back. And this year, we're big on low prices and big on savings with good deals like twin pack frozen chicken at 1,000 naira per kilogram. Buy a carton of 24 Malta Guinness 330 ml cans at only 2,899 naira 99 kobo. Get deals on what you need most from ShopRite's Big Red Carnival. Big on low prices, big on savings. Lower prices you can trust always.
Thank you for staying with OGTV News. The people of Ijeja in Abeokuta have appealed to the current administration in Ogun State to come to the aid of the community, as the bridge in the community has finally given way after the heavy downpour. They made the appeal while speaking with OGTV News during the inspection of some of the areas affected by the heavy rainfall in Amolasho, Leme and Ijeja areas of Abeokuta. Matthew Showme tells us more.
The downpour, which started in the middle of the night and fell for several hours, wreaked serious havoc as residents of flood-prone areas in Abeokuta continue to count their losses. It was supposed to be a blessing, but turned out to be something else as residents of Ijeja bemoaned their situation. The damage in the wake of the rainfall leading to the collapse of the bridge in the community is the reason they are appealing to the Ogun State government to come to their aid.
And this bridge now, the mouth of the bridge is too small for the volume of water that is coming. So, therefore, when all those banana leaves and trees, when they come, they block the mouth of the bridge. And when they block the mouth of the bridge, it causes overflooding to other houses around.
And I could remember that the last regime came here with the Vice President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Professor Yomi Oshibajo, and they promised us to do something tangible for this community. And we have been suffering all this thing, and there's nothing we can do.
Residents of Olokuta continue to lament their situation as they analyze the extent of the damage caused by the rain. Residents of Amolasho scooping out water from their residents with an appeal to the government to help them find lasting solution to the perennial problem of flooding in the community.
I go market before I come by, my rain don't fall for my shop, spoil my property.
NNPC Road, Isale Jakuto, Ishabo, and Okemoson Road were also heavily flooded as a result of the heavy rain. Matthew Showme, OGTV News.
An explosion at a gas station has killed a woman, Mrs. Onyekpandu Ekeyama, and her 4 little children, and destroyed some farmlands and vegetations at the suburb of Owerri, the Imo State capital. The incident happened after a fire broke out in Tiago gas station located in Umuoma, Nekede in Owerri, West Council area of Imo State Wednesday night, having been triggered by a truck discharging cooking gas. Narrating the incident to the Deputy Governor of Imo State, Professor Placid Unjoku, who visited the scene of the incident this weekend, an eyewitness, Mr. Princhley Onyeme, said the explosion occurred when the gas tanker was discharging its contents at the station. He said a wave was suspected to have taken the flames to the direction of a nearby building of Mr. Onyekpandu Ekeyada, killing his wife and 4 children who were seated in front of the building, while some farmlands and vegetations were destroyed. Mr. Onyekwe said there was a suspected gas leakage from the gas pipe that fumed for hours, but was ignored by the managers of the station. He disclosed that a petrol station also caught fire in the area a month back, expressing worry at the sitting of petrol and gas stations in residential areas. The Deputy Governor, Professor Placid Unjoku, condemned indiscriminate siting of petrol and gas stations in residential areas of the state. He said the state government was saddened to receive the news of the death of Imolites under such circumstances, adding that government would review the situation and put appropriate measures to ensure that such incident did not repeat itself. There are a number of challenges facing vocational and technical education which has impacted negatively on national development in Nigeria. Hence, the need for government and other stakeholders to make sure that educational programs at all levels are made relevant to provide youths the needed vocational and technical skills to explore in the era of unemployment. This was the view of stakeholders who spoke with our reporter on the impact of technical education to the nation's socio-economic growth. His report. Vocational and technical education facilitates the acquisition of applied skills and basic scientific knowledge. Unfortunately, Nigeria does not seem to give vocational and technical education the attention it deserves, which appears to be one of the reasons for rising rate of unemployment and poverty in the society. The growing problem of unemployment in the country is being attributed to the lack of necessary occupational skills that would enable the youths to be self-employed. Speaking with stakeholders on the socio-economic growth that can be achieved through technical education, they say that the neglect of technical education in the area of adequate personnel, financial support, and facilities to encourage vocational and technical education is robbing the nation of some contributions the graduates would have made to the economy.
Important. If Nigeria is to be among the Committee of Nations producing things, then its teaming graduates, its teaming youths need to engage themselves in having one or two skills in bettering first their lives and in two, mass producing, so that at the end of the whole thing they will be able to export, and when they export they earn foreign exchange. When we earn foreign exchange, it affects the economy of the nation, and that is why we cannot distance Nigeria getting into the Committee of Nations that are doing well in the economy.
It will be better if our government can assist us in equipping our technical schools. That one will really help us. There is nothing stopping you as a graduate to know how to repair the telephone. It will give you food as you are jogging to get a government job. If that one is not coming on time, the train you learn will give you food.
They observe that vocational and technical education occupies an important position in the sustainable development of the nation and must be given attention.
Technical school is the best. Let's begin to take technical, very serious, because that is where the whole world is going to now. All the white collar job is gone at those days. So what you can do with your hand and your brain is what is in vogue now.
We don't need to depend solely on fuel again. We need to diversify. One of the areas we diversify into is agriculture. Agriculture can be learned in school, but we can still learn it. You don't need to read agriculture in school before you go into farming. You don't need to study some things now. In fact, you don't need to be an engineer before you go and learn how to be a roadside mechanic or roadside rewire, and that is acquisition of skill. And by the time we involve around doing one thing or the other, the individual will be better for it, the society will gain from it, and the country at large will gain for it. So that
the development of any nation hinges on the social and economic contributions of our citizens, as educational, vocational, and technical training plays a major role at promoting community and national development. At least 5 people were killed and 10 others injured following a bomb attack in Idowu, southwest Somalia on Saturday, officials said. Somali government spokesman Ismail Mukhtar Omar confirmed the attack, saying the militant group Al-Shabaab was behind the latest attack in Idowu town, the administrative capital of southwest state in Somalia.